The air inside the bunker reeked of ozone, solder smoke, and teenage rebellion. Jazz stood at the edge of a 3D printed map room, watching a dozen rogue gamers flick through data shards with the intensity of chess grandmasters on amphetamines. Pixelated avatars hovered above their heads, badges of fame from the lair, gold-tier tournament placers, Twitch reflex tacticians, kill count prodigies. Children barely shaving who unknowingly ran kill squads from bedroom battle stations. One of them, who called himself Monkfish42, was reclined in a chair made from drone shell fragments, his neural implant flaring in soft pulses. "You asked about logistics," he said. "You are not going to like it." Jazz took a pull from a half-empty flask of electrolyte whiskey and leaned over the table. "I already don't like it." The kid tapped into the live chain. Projected into the air was a flow of transactions, millions of tiny Satoshi payments, streaming like fireflies across a digital sea. Labels danced above them: fuel shipment, maintenance fee, asset handling, regional security tax. Jazz squinted. "They're all real," Monkfish said. "Every sat you see, auditable, transparent, immutable. That's the genius." Another rogue Mimsy picked up the thread. Yeah, Obelisk figured out how to hide in the open. Trustless systems mean anyone can trace a transaction, but nobody questions what they're seeing if it all looks legit. You pay a drone operator, you pay a fuel supplier. On-chain, it's indistinguishable from paying a warehouse for shipping tomatoes. Jazz gritted his teeth. "So they just disguise war as paperwork?" "Exactly," Monkfish said. "You'd need two things to prove intent: the payment trail and the player ID behind the strike. They separated them. Your layer login is anonymized, hashed, shuffled. You'd need a miracle to match a player to a payload." Jazz opened his jacket, exposing a drive socket sewn into the lining. "Miracle's loading." He plugged in the drone core from the Balkans, the one that tried to eat itself rather than be caught. The rogue net buzzed. Code fluttered across screens. The room dimmed. A synthesized chime echoed. "It's what a handshake accepted." Mimsy swore under her breath. "What is it?" Jazz asked. She hesitated. "This black box? It has raw mission metadata and player confirmation hashes. There's a traceable link, not just to one op, to dozens, hundreds." Another gamer, Boomer OS, pulled up a sat map. Civilian strike zones lit up like pinpoints of shame. "It's worse than we thought," he muttered. "They use prize tournaments to incentivize lethal sorties, high kill streaks, double sat payouts, bonus for confirmed headshots, all embedded in the layer's logic, buried in reward structures." Jazz swallowed a sick laugh. "We gave him the murder button and paid him in tokens for pressing it. Gamified genocide." Mimsy's voice turned cold. "They think the audit trail protects them, but now we have the missing cipher. This changes everything." Boomer OS leaned back. "The problem is exposure. You post this online, it gets flagged as conspiracy porn. Censored, memory hold. Obelisk owns half the layer's content review stack." Jazz paced. "Then we don't go loud. We go smart." The bunker buzzed again, an inbound message over their mesh network. Jazz's implant throbbed with the notification. A new contact pinged. EV. He opened it. A low-bit audio file crackled in. "You're close, too close. The metadata leaks were left on purpose. Come deeper, and you'll see the real fog. I was Obelisk. Meet me where the trustless war began." Attached was a single coordinate ping. Underground. Deep Balkan infrastructure. Long forgotten by tourists, but not by the dead. Jazz blinked, replaying the voice. He recognized something in the cadence. Not the speaker, but the guilt behind the tone. He turned to the crew. "Pack your decks. We're moving." Mimsy frowned. "Why now?" "Because someone on the inside wants out," Jazz said. "And they left us a breadcrumb in the most dangerous place possible." Boomer OS nodded. "The fog of war?" Jazz holstered the black box. "No. The forge of trustless war. A war with receipts no one knows how to read." They set out as the sun crept above the smog-draped ruins of the Outer Balkans. walking through a world that had convinced itself violence was clean if done by code. But the truth was messy, human, and bleeding through. Somewhere beneath the fractured soil, a ghost from within obelisk waited. In jazz, reckless and unraveling, would meet it head on.